I am Kat Navarro-Lee with the B Foundation for Brain Aneurysm Prevention, and I am here with survivor and brand ambassador Ashley Brown, who's going to be telling us about her experience. Ashley, thank you so much for being with us. And first thing I'm going to ask you is what your B word is.
So my B word is authentic, to be authentic. And it's kind of a twofold meaning for me. So my job when I had my rupture was I was the manager of retail operations for a Major League Baseball organization, where I ran the Authentics program. That's where I learned the true meaning of what authentic was, and it's to be true and original. And with my journey and my story, I found that the more original and the more authentic that I was, the more I was relating to other survivors and connecting with people on social media. So I feel like to be authentic is to be my true self, which is so important for me on my journey, just so that I can heal.
I think that is so important because people can sense that when you're being your authentic self, which is why I think all of us are getting along in this retreat, which leads into my next question of is have you learned anything from the other ambassadors?
I feel like over the last 3.5 years since I've really become associated with the foundation, before I became an ambassador, I was learning things from so many of them that have now become close friends. So this weekend has been so amazing because I actually get to be in the same room and share hugs versus everything being virtual. But I feel like what I've actually learned is one, acceptance. I feel like that is probably the biggest takeaway is just acceptance of what has happened, acceptance of what my life looks like now, acceptance of what my future could look like. I think hope is something that I've learned from everybody because our stories are all so different, and each person's story and experience and their future and how they've been able to navigate this new world gives me hope. But then we just did a Bible and devotional chat with Minda, and there were things that I took away from that um, really impacted me positively, because I've always struggled with my religious background and my relationship with God, and my rupture brought up a lot of emotions and a lot of feelings about God, and with healing and the path that I've been on, unfortunately, I kind of wavered from that. And so it was nice to be able to sit with her and have that experience and take away some things from it.
That's so powerful because I feel like we can learn so much with other people and hearing their stories. And I know that another way that you've been healing is through therapy. So can you talk about how that's helped on your journey for healing and wholeness?
Yes, I'm a huge advocate for healing or for therapy, for healing as well, but for therapy. When I was in the hospital, because I was doing so well, I was moved out of the ICU after a week, and I was moved to a neuro floor where people were screaming nonstop. Now, they weren't suffering from aneurysms necessarily. It was just a general neuro floor in the hospital. And it was a very traumatizing experience for me because I hadn't fully understood what had happened to me, nor had I grasped the reality of what my life was going to look like. And so immediately I called my parents and was like, I need a therapist. I need a good therapist. I had done therapy before, but I had never found anybody that I really connected with. And I was really, really lucky that my primary care physician paired me with a social worker who somehow blessed me with the best therapist that I could ever have asked for. And I was doing therapy 2 to 3 times a week, starting 2 months after my rupture had happened. And I will say that for the first 6 months, I continued that schedule, and there would have been no way I would have survived without her. And I still see her to this day. And I talk about her like she's my best friend. But even though she hadn't experienced a brain aneurysm, I asked for somebody that could um, empathize and help me navigate grief and near-death experiences. And based on her own experiences with her family and what led her to becoming a therapist, she has helped me so much understand acceptance, understand my lack of control, or my want and need of control, but the fact that I need to release that and just accept what's coming to me. I think that everybody needs therapy, whether you have a brain aneurysm or some traumatic injury. It's just something that is really beneficial to have an outside party to talk to.
I definitely agree. We go through so much as survivors, and having that essential tool of somebody to talk to is really important. So thank you for sharing about that.